thank you all for meeting with me. You're all doing some wonderful work, destroying the world. But I think it's probably time for us to reevaluate.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, but I think we're in the wrong meeting. We're not here to destroy the world. We're here to save it. You see, we are some of the leading leaders of liberal causes, and I'm with the Human Rights Campaign, who focus on LGBTQ plus and trans rights. You see, I have the equal sign to let you know that I'm a good person.
Oh, excuse me, women's reproductive rights.
Oh.
Climate.
Free Palestine. Open borders.
I misspoke before. You guys are not destroying the world, okay? You are saving the world.
Hey, whoa, what's up with those scare quotes?
Pretty sure I didn't use scare quotes when I said saving the world.
Again.
The important thing to keep in mind is that there's a big election coming up, and you and I, we're all on the same page, okay? So if we want Biden to win, he needs to win in order for us to save the world. If we want Biden to win, you folks, how can I say this? You might need to tone it down. Just
Tone down what?
Oh, that's a good question. You're women's reproductive rights, right? Okay. Excellent branding, by the way. It's much easier on the ears than baby murder. So kudos to you on that one. But opposing any restrictions all the way through to the 9th month, I mean, you see how you're kind of tipping your hand, right? Makes people think, wait, maybe they actually want to kill babies. And we do, obviously.
No, we don't.
Oh,
no, we don't. We don't.
Right. We don't. But you see how it can kind of look that way. So that's all I'm saying. Let's tone it down. And you, immigration, clearly we don't want a completely open border that undermines any sense of national sovereignty, driving down wages for the working class and overtaxing the welfare state. So let's go a bit easy there too. I mean, why not something like this? Why not something like,
So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Now that goes on for another 5 minutes. It's a great clip. I think it really does highlight how crazy leftist ideology has gotten. Look, continue to vote blue. It'll work for you. If you're a fan of high crime, inflation, high population of unprocessed illegals in your area, aborting babies, supporting terrorists, the list goes on and on and on. It is our responsibility to come onto social media, these platforms like X, Rumble, and so on, and really try to do our best to guide our friends, guide our neighbors to the light, because the media is so corrupt and does such a good job at making those who don't necessarily do their own due diligence, like you or I, not that they're bad people, they just might not have the time. Maybe they're stupid. I don't know. But they don't have the ability or the time to do their own due diligence. And what does the media do? Jams a fake story down their throat, makes them feel fulfilled, and then they just go about their night. And unfortunately, hundreds of millions have been fooled that way. So I take it upon myself. Welcome into Live with Chris's World. It is May 20th, a Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Had a fantastic weekend. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I've got 3 special guests. You'll see. Well, I'm not going to give any of them away. You'll see them come in as they come in. But we're going to talk about some crazy stuff. We got Michael Cohen on the list. How many millions have crossed the border? There was a girl who graduated from a university. I don't remember the university. We'll pull it up here. And she wrote a message on her graduation cap. I don't know if she threw it up. I hope not. She should keep it and frame it. Wait till you guys see that. Biden apparently thought that he was vice president during the pandemic. I don't know. I know that sounds crazy, right? Because Obama wasn't the president during the pandemic, so Biden wasn't the vice president. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but nothing Biden says makes a lot of sense. Then this one is really shocking. Our final story of the night. I hope you guys stick around, tune in for this one. A staffer has quit the Biden administration, and you won't believe why. She says she just can't do it anymore. It's crazy stuff. So we're going to get into all that and more. If this is your first time watching Live with Chris's World, appreciate you tuning in. Hope that you tune in some more. Live with Chris's World airs on X, Rumble, and yes, now YouTube. It's not like I'm proud to say it. Here, let me click over, right? I mean, we got like one person watching on YouTube. Already have a couple hundred tuning in here on X, 120 something. So YouTube, look, YouTube and TikTok. I started a TikTok recently, and it's a plethora of toxicity. It makes me really wonder: are there a bunch of trolls on TikTok that are being paid by the government or the Biden administration to specifically add conflict or confrontation to conservative content? It really does seem that way. Let me know what you guys think, because same thing goes for YouTube Shorts, same thing goes for Instagram. And of course, some people peek through and make it, but most conservatives that are outspoken and trying to create content on those platforms just don't seem to get the leverage or traction that they should. It's valuable information and they're skilled people on the mic, but yet they don't get any traction because of the subject matter. Yeah, nice. So real quick, I'm going to play a video, and then I'm going to bring in my first guest of the night. As you guys know, we operate off of the bookmarks. If you're not using bookmarks on X, please do. It's how I structure my show. It's a fantastic way to keep yourself organized. I don't know if a lot of people utilize bookmarks, but I certainly do, and encourage others to use it. I'm going to play this video, bring in the guest. This is crazy stuff. Again, here, Michael Cohen.
Let me read for you the exchange between Todd Blanche and Michael Cohen. So you only gave him $20,000 and you took $30,000. Blanche, you stole from the Trump organization, right? Cohen says, yes, sir. Blanche goes on later on. He says, you did steal from the Trump organization based upon the expected reimbursement, correct? And he says, yes, sir. So again, that is breaking it out because essentially they walked through what it is that Michael Cohen actually Paid Renfridge, and this goes back to, Jose, what you were just talking about, in this brown paper bag, all cash. He came to the Trump organization, an individual who worked for Renfridge, to collect this payment, $20,000, in which Michael Cohen paid out to this individual. The other $30,000 Michael Cohen kept to himself.
Kept it to himself. First guest of the night, we've got Jeff from the Zoo podcast. Jeff, thanks for tuning in and joining me here tonight. I really appreciate you coming on the show. First and foremost,
it's great
man,
to be on.
How are you doing tonight? Thanks for coming on.
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Chris?
Hey, man, I'm hanging in there. I love what you're doing on X. I got a chance to catch your show, and we have some mutual friends as well. Guys, if you're not familiar with Jeff's podcast, the Zoo podcast, it airs here on X at Sissick Jeffrey. Please give the guy a follow. Give his show a look. Even interviewed General Michael Flynn. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I talked to General Flynn on Saturday, and I'm getting ready to have him back for a longer follow-up interview, probably do an hour here in the next week or two.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, and I can assure you that I'll definitely be a viewer for that podcast, and I hope you guys do as well. So please don't miss Jeffrey interviewing General Michael Flynn again, the Zoo podcast here on X, and that is at Sissick Jeffrey. So, Jeff, let's get into the meat and potatoes here, my friend. What are you seeing with this Michael Cohen case? I've got another video for you, but just right off the dome, you see this happen in the headlines today. Early morning, maybe it was 8, 9, 10 o'clock Eastern time, that is. First thing to your mind, holy crap, Michael Cohen just admitted to theft, stealing from Donald Trump $30,000. What goes through your mind when you hear something like that?
Well, I think what goes through my mind, if you've been following this for the last week, they have impeached him as a witness in so many ways. And, it's just another proof that he's not a trustworthy guy. And I tell you what, if I'm sitting in the jury and I'm hearing that today, after last week where they figured out he lied about the text messages, about the 14-year-old, that's the big call. He's their star witness. And I'm thinking about right now that this case is going nowhere and Trump's going to get off and it's going to go away.
And it is really hard to start and think about how do you justify or add legitimacy to this case if you were just to try to. You've got a serial perjurer who spent time in prison, and Michael Cohen as the lead witness. Hey, guess who's on deck in the on deck circle? First is Derek Jeter, but your A-Rod is Stormy Daniels, a professional porn star who then says on the Bill Maher show in 2018, oh no, I'm not part of Me Too. I'm not part of Me Too. I wasn't assaulted. 6 years later, she's passing out sure. The professional
Yeah.
porn star is passing out when just when she's having sex with Donald Trump. BS is what I'm saying to that. And not to mention the judge. How about the judge, Jeffrey? So it's come out that the judge has actually donated to the Biden campaign, small amount, $15. But I just want to highlight, it isn't about the amount of money, right, Jeffrey? It's about, hey, when you're donating, you're showing support, whether it's $1, $15, or $150.
Yeah, and his daughter also has received some really big payments to do work for, the Democrat Party. So, and we have with this prosecutor, Alvin Bragg, meeting with Biden White House officials, leading up to this trial.
Yep.
I mean, this thing really looks bad. The American public knows it. And I think that's why you're seeing these polls just absolutely evaporate for Joe Biden.
Yeah, and that's probably the reason he had no choice but to call out Trump in a debate. I mean, it's his only saving grace. And you got to wonder, kind of off topic, but the Democrats, this could be an angle, and maybe it's far-fetched, but you figure they know Joe is in hot water. If they can get a debate done early and kind of push him out, maybe that's the reason for the urgency in regards to debating Donald Trump, because you see a lot of the left networks, they want Joe to do it. And I don't know what kind of puzzles being played in the background. And I just point out, hey, look, if it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, probably a duck, no?
Yeah, and I tell you what I think they're doing. I think they're going to float him out there for that debate. And, one of two things is going to happen. I don't think he stacks up against Donald Trump. I think this is the plan to replace him at the convention in August and put another candidate in place.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I had something play over the mic. No, I do agree with you. And you saw that they pushed back is that what you just said? They pushed back the Democrat convention.
Yeah. But I think they're going to replace him. And I think this is just a first step. They're going to float him out there. He's going to do badly. They're going to have a lot of public backlash on the Democrat side to replace him. Yeah. And that'll give them what they need to do just that. I don't know who that's going to be, but I don't think that Joe Biden's going to end up and be the nominee.
I wonder who it could be. I mean, and I only say that, Jeffrey, to say we look at Joe Biden and we point the finger. We say, man, F Joe Biden and this, that, and the third. But in reality, the facts are it could have been Joe Biden 4 years ago, or it could have been somebody else. The result would have been the same because it's about the uniparty, the agenda that the establishment is setting forth. So Joe Biden is simply, as we all know, a puppet in a just a talking mouth. Hell, it might not even be the real Joe Biden when we look at the ears and the other facial characteristics.
Right.
But hey, that's for another day. So if Joe was the best that they had 4 years ago, I look at the political spectrum now on the left and the players that are getting views on social media, because that it matters. And Vivek Ramaswamy on our side is a perfect representation of why that matters, because you saw how he elevated for one reason and one reason only. He knows how to utilize social media and maximize his audience. So you look at the left, I don't see anybody even. Who could they pick?
I think they might pick Michelle Obama. I think Gavin Newsom's been puffed and powdered up, for a possible run. Mm-hmm. There was a time I thought they might put forward somebody like an Oprah Winfrey.
Oh,
but I think Michelle Obama is at the top of the list. I really do.
Well, let's hope not. So I want to play one more clip for you here, Jeff, before we part ways. This is MSNBC, Lawrence O'Donnell. He's defending Michael Cohen's lie. Guys, if you're watching this is about as crazy gets. The man admits to stealing money. His reason for stealing money, which he admits in the court, is because he was unsatisfied with not getting a bonus. He felt as if he deserved more, so he stole.
Right.
This mother effer, Lawrence O'Donnell, is defending those actions. Wait till you hear this.
Seen every single question he's asked, and he sat down and ended his cross-examination without asking a single question about the $130,000 that appears on the Alan Weisselberg notes about how they were structuring the payment to Michael Cohen. He asked about the $50,000 that's irrelevant to the $130,000. And that's where he very effectively got Michael Cohen to agree that, yes, he stole $30,000. Later, when Cohen was asked about that on redirect by the prosecution, it didn't really sound like stealing $30,000. It sounded a lot like Michael Cohen doing the little that he could within that calculation to rebalance the bonus he thought he deserved, and it still came out as less than the bonus he thought he.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Okay. Well, then I guess it's not. This is all right then. It's all right, right, Jeff? Like, and I only say that to say because it is normal behavior, right? Like if you and I don't know. We don't need to tell people what we do for a living, but let's just make believe we work in for a company somewhere and we do the bookkeeping, right?
Right.
You and I, and we say, yeah, we're willing to work for 50 grand a year each. And then halfway through the year, we're like, this is a little bit harder than we realized. Boss, can we get a raise? Sorry, guys. Nah, come talk to me later. Well, let's take matters into our own hands. We know how to do the books. Let's just pay ourselves more. Why not?
Yeah, and in this case, it's even worse than that. there was some polling or something that came out on NBC, CNBC, and Cohen went out for Donald Trump, and he hired a tech firm to manage that social media. Get him some better metrics going on, better metadata happening. They said they did a contract for $50,000. He tells the Trump organization this is what it costs. And when they pay the invoice, he only paid $30 to the tech firm that did the actual work. And they didn't make a deal out of it. But yes, he stole their money.
Yeah, he 100% stole their money. If I say, hey, man, give me $10 for something that costs $5, and then I go pocket $5, I stole your $5. And it's literally that simple. But
that's right.
No, yeah, it's just because the reason that it's important to play this type of information, in my opinion, is because, like I started the show, for anybody who's been watching thus far, the media does such a good job at twisting the narrative, making the viewer who is not proficient enough to do their own digging. And they say, hey, viewer, don't do your own digging. Trust us. We'll give you enough to feel fulfilled and then go on about your life and vote, and then go vote. And it's like, oh my gosh, if people would just look at the facts, look at the simple fact that you've got a serial perjurer on the stand. There's no branch of government that he hasn't lied to.
That's right.
Congress. He's lied to local police, state, federal, you name it. He's
a star witness, Chris. He's the star, right? Yeah. Their whole case hinges on this guy. In the media, if folks haven't figured this out that are listening to this tonight, I don't care if it's Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, all of them have an agenda about the only place you're getting real news and real journalism now is out there on a platform like X, which is why Chris is here. This is why the Zoo podcast is there, because the public has got to get truth, and we're not getting it out of these bozos in the mainstream media, which, by the way, if you look up their bios now, they're attorneys. They're not out of journalism school.
Mm-hmm. It's true. We're in a civilization right now, society that's being educated by the uneducated, right? I mean, to sum it up simply, that's what's happening. They had a professor, I can't remember what network, or maybe it wasn't a network, just a guy on the streets, but he's at Columbia or one of the big protests. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free is what they're chanting. And he goes up to one of the professors. What is that? What river and what sea?
And they didn't know. Right.
So, this is
being paid. These guys are being paid by people, right? To be there.
It's all Soros.
Soros, George Soros. They have no idea what they're there for. They're just getting a paycheck.
100%.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Awesome to talk about this topic. Unfortunate that Trump's going through it, but optimistic for the future and optimistic that America is waking up, right?
Yeah. You and me both. Absolutely.
So before I let you go, man, any message for the viewers and people that you want to watch the Zoo podcast here on X, and that is at Sisk, Sisk Jeffrey.
Yeah, all I would tell you is that our goal as we move forward with Zoo Podcast is to curate great journalism. So we have put together an unprecedented list of the real journalists out there that are no longer in mainstream media that are covering well-sourced, great stories that the public needs to know about. It used to be what mainstream media did for us when I was growing up, and that's what we're doing. We're going to be bringing you hard-hitting, real news. And that's what the Zoo podcast is about.
Love it. Love it, guys. So make sure you're tuning in to the Zoo podcast right here on X at Sisk Jeffrey, host of the Zoo podcast. Here's his page. Give it a follow. He's got one episode posted at the top here. Great episode with General Michael Flynn. And he's got another episode coming soon with General Michael Flynn. So you want to make sure you're in tune with Jeffrey's page here. Have him notified. Follow him. Check it whenever you can. And be on the lookout for his content. He's a great patriot who's doing great work, and I'm excited to collaborate with you in the future, man. It's been an honor talking to you.
Sounds good, Chris. Hope to see you soon.
Awesome. All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.
So this is what it's all about, guys, right? Networking, meeting different patriots. It's the first time I talked to Jeff. What a guy. Awesome guy. I've watched his show. Hell of a show. So when you find like-minded individuals, other patriots out there, just reach out. That's what I do. I've got no shame in my game. I'm sliding into DMs all the time. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Chris. I've got a show. What do you do? Like, just to say hi, just to meet people, because this is how we progress as a movement, as a country, a party, and how we progress as individuals, right? So it's definitely important. And, you know, he said something too, the media when he was a kid. He's a little bit older than I am. I'm 27. But man, there was a time, and I say this a few times, there was a time when, you guys remember, if a journalist got something wrong on the air, they would come back on the next night and be like totally embarrassed and ashamed of themselves. Oh yeah, the integrity in my craft, and give the whole spiel. And now it's like the goal is to fabricate and not tell the truth. The goal is to tell anything but the truth now with mainstream media. It's just what, and we're only talking like 30 years. I mean, in the 90s, there was some integrity. In the 80s, there sure was. So, I mean, 40 years, it's all it took. A little technology and some money, and America lost its way. Sad, but it is true. Not all of us. Not all of us, just the crazies, crazy libs. All right, we got another guest coming on here. We're going to talk about the migrants. Look, we haven't talked about the migrants a lot lately here on the show. The protesters have been clogging up the headlines. Man, you know what I don't have on the list tonight? I'm saving it for tomorrow, but yeah, the death of 2 world leaders. You want to make sure you're tuning in tomorrow night to Live with Chris's World and live Boiling Point Live simulcast. We're going to break down those 2 incidents, potential correlations, potential distractions to be seen in the coming weeks. I don't know. Too much for tonight's show. We are going to talk about the migrants, though, because the migrants, I haven't talked about them in weeks, and I want to talk about the migrants. Here's Secretary Mayorkas.
Of people?
It's not good. It's not good. I wish I could show you good content, but I can't because the leaders that we have are incompetent. But all right, here we go.
Let's say since the beginning of the administration, is it millions of people?
It's several million people.
Oh, not that many. Several million.
Perception is by, I guess, some Republicans in the House side, perhaps maybe others, that more people have been coming in under President Biden than under President Trump. Is that true or not?
That is true.
Yeah, that's true. And remember when he got on the air and bragged bragged about rolling back the Trump policies. We rolled back the Trump policies. We rolled in regards to what policies? The border. We rolled back all those border policies. They said so proud and peppy. Those little fucking. Don't get me started. I'm gonna try to tone these streams back a little bit. Try to make myself more presentable. Of course, I'm not gonna lose the fire, but we're gonna try to monitor the language a little bit. But that's a fucking joke. 4 years ago. We rolled back all the Trump policies for the border. Come on in, guys. 4 years later, fucking crime, stealing jobs. We got local cities that kids are being let out of school so the migrants could come in. Keep voting blue. It works for you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm bringing Kyle here, Patriot Kyle. Me and Kyle have an announcement to make coming up very soon. Kyle, very excited about the announcement and the launch of a new project that we've been working on for a while.
Of course.
How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good. You know, just another Monday. Just enjoying life. You know, all that week.
Another Monday.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
All right, look, guys, make sure that you're following Patriot Kyle. At Kyle's World, Patriot Kyle. He is my right-hand man. He helps me out with the show in all things business. We do have a project that's launching very soon, an awesome service for patriots to use to help filter news. We've been working on it for a while. More to come on that probably tomorrow or the day after. So very soon when we're getting ready to launch here.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. All right, Kyle, I play that video for you. Mayorkas, remember when he used to brag about rolling back the Trump policies for the border? Now we've got millions in here. You feel like you'd think he'd be somewhat resented, like have some resentment in the sense of, yeah, man, we really dropped the ball on this. But it's almost like this was the reaction. Yeah, we let in millions.
We did,
of course. Like.
I mean, why wouldn't we? I mean, they're voters.
Yeah. So, give me some thoughts, man. Do you think Trump's going to get in? How do you see Trump assessing the whole situation with the country and the immigrants, the illegal people that are currently residing in liberal cities? Because really, that's the only place they're residing. Do you think you got a mass deportation in a perfect world? What does Trump do when he gets in the office?
It's gonna be pretty hard to do a mass deportation, but you know, as the man Trump is, I think he's gonna beef up the police in those cities and really crack down on what's going down with the law. You know, we back the blue here, so that's what it's really gonna take to clean up these cities. But I actually do have a little receipts here for what went down under the Biden administration.
Please share it.
I sent it to you on your DMs on Twitter if you want to bring it up. It's from the oversight committee here. But yeah, we got 8 million migrants encounters nationwide at the border. 6.7 million of those were in the southwest border there. So, I mean,
is it the tweet or the website?
It's the website. The
website I can't get to. But here's your post that you sent me about the terrorist watch list and the border. So I mean that correlates perfectly into what you're saying.
Oh no, definitely. And the amount of people that came through the border, you know, the gotaways. Hold up, I think it's on here.
Over 600,000, Kyle.
It says right here, worst yet, over 1.7 million known gotaways, illegal immigrants who have evaded border patrol. So, I mean, that's quite a fucking bit. That could have been on, a terrorist watch list. We don't know who they are. This is a national security risk, man. Like,
yeah, there's no doubt about that.
In the year of 2023 alone here, we got 24,000 Chinese citizens crossed over the Mexican border. We got 50,000 pounds of fentanyl coming over. So, I mean, this border, it's been a problem. The whole Biden administration hasn't gotten better at all. We saw a better border under Trump. I think everyone's seen that we had that better border under Trump. I mean, Personally, I think it's Trump's best friend right now. That
the border situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting downplayed, like you said, because we do have these protests and what's going on in Israel and Ukraine, all distractions there. But at the end of the day, the average American voter is going to be worried about what's going on in his backyard. And you see what's going on in our backyard right now.
Kyle, it just seems so simple. Like it seems so. Kyle, what do you think about the border agents? You got to imagine they're pretty pissed off they can't do their job, right? If you were to just for a second, and I know, just put yourself in the mind of a border agent. What would you assume a good American trying to do his job, what he signed up to do, defending the border? What are they thinking right now with the leadership?
I mean, there's not much they really can think. I mean, they got family at home to feed. They gotta follow whatever instructions is given to them. I mean, you would like to think that your everyday border agent is out there, tackling down illegal aliens, cuffing them up and throwing them back to where he's supposed to be. But that's not what's going on at all. It's more like, hey, come on in, because that's what we've been told from our upper ups. Yeah.
It is.
Do you need anything while you're here? Do you need housing, food, any Medicare, anything?
Yeah,
we can get you signed up for that.
Well, Kyle,
if you sign right here, you'll be able to vote for Biden in this next election. He's the one that really, got you across the border here. So
yeah, vote for Biden. Right, he's the one who cares. Kyle, here's another clip for you. Here's New York. So, and this is what's funny about New York. So before I play this, guys, New York was giving migrants $10,000 debit cards. $10,000.
Crazy.
Okay. And now they're flying people out of the city for free. Hey, just hop on a flight and go, please. So what was the point of giving them $10,000? Because look, if you're going to talk about economics, what you could say, and I'm not saying it, I'm just saying what you could say is, oh, well, you see, that money just ends up going through the filtration of that local economy of New York City, in that borough, district, whatever it might be. So the money is going to be good for the economy, small business, create opportunities. You could say that economically. I'm not saying that that's right, because it's not. I would never propose that idea. I'm just trying to tell you what they would say. But they're shipping them out. Here's $10,000. Bye. What the fuck?
Hey, Chris, so I also saw that they're even starting to do scams, such as they'll have a few illegal immigrants in a gas station or something like that, and someone will run up and start to rob the gas station, and these immigrants get covered under some sort of act that they made that gives them citizenship or some sort of rights after that. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's crazier is there's people actually buying water and dumping the water in return for cold hard cash. I don't know. This is what's happening. But let me play this video for you.
Outside a migrant shelter here in New York City, this is what we found. There are not a lot of people here. We've came here before, and there has been hundreds of people here lined up. There are not a lot of people here today, and you wonder why. It says, if you come here, we can book you a ticket anywhere outside of New York City. No need to wait in line. Just tell the front door staff you'd like to get a travel ticket. Reasons why you might want to travel is you have family, friends, job opportunities, lower cost of living, and a better climate than New York City. And you don't like the climate here, so you want to get out. One major thing about this is
look, they're so messed. They're literally they go as low as they can get. We'll just blame it on the cold. Hey, it's cold. Hey, go where it's warm. It's cold here in New York.
It's even worse, the fact that New York City, known for being democratic. Hey, come on in, guys. We welcome you in here. Come on. Nah, get the hell out of our city.
It's just so.
It's
mind.
Isn't that so hypocritical? From New York City.
Of course.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
No, it's absolutely terrible. Kyle, I appreciate you coming on tonight. As always, man, you're on the show at least once or twice a week. We are partners in crime in this fight against evil. Of course, us being on the side of good, patriotism and conservatism. We've got an awesome service launching here this week. You might already have seen it on my X. I posted it a few times just to test some different areas. But that being said, Kyle, always awesome having you on, and we'll have you on again later in the week, brother.
Of course, appreciate you.
All righty. Good stuff. Another great Patriot. Patriot Kyle. His name's Patriot Kyle. Of course he's a great Patriot. Patriot's in the name. He's in the name, okay? We love that guy. We love that guy, Patriot Kyle, okay? He's a great guy, quite frankly. He might be the best. My Trump impression is not great. It's getting there, maybe. I don't know. It's needs some work. All right. Where are we going next? I want to show you guys this real quick. This isn't really news per se. I just think it's kind of cool. Here's this girl graduating college, and she says, survived college without becoming a liberal. It seems impossible these days with the indoctrination in higher education, of course, lower too, high schools and so on. But my God, kudos to her. Congrats. I don't know what's more of an accomplishment, to graduate college or to get through college without becoming a liberal. Congrats to her. Gotta give her a round of applause. Awesome idea too. I mean, went viral. Fucking awesome post. It's like the little things that do it. You got to wonder, like, what's the cause of the rebel and the youth? What causes them to act out of pocket like that? I don't know. But they do. I almost think it's kind of like they just want to push societal norms as far as they can push them. Just for the simple fact of because. That's how I feel. And you saw that happen with Rome and other civilizations in the past. So we got another guest coming on here, and we'll be wrapping up the show in about 10 minutes or so. But we're going to get on to Joe Biden, who's been mumbling and bumbling since he got into office. But this is alarming. Check this out. I saw this post. I don't know who this is from Rob 29. Thanks, Rob. Biden's accomplishments after nearly 5 decades in politics. 1973, Biden enters politics. 1977, Biden keeps schools segregated because allowing black kids to integrate would create a racial jungle. And that is a quote, and you could find that quote. Let's continue down the timeline. Nothing. Oh, 1988 ends his presidential campaign after he was caught plagiarizing. We all remember that. He writes the crime bill in 1994. We know what happened there. All right, let's see. Okay. Yeah, Robert Byrd, friends with him. He attended the funeral, I believe, too. 2016 calls service members stupid bastards. 2017 through 2020 illegally retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. Oh, and now here's the list of his real accomplishments, because the guy that I'm having on next always says purpose creates design. It's his saying. And Joe Biden's either an ultimate failure or a great success, depending on the way you look at it. Botched Afghanistan withdrawal, left $80 billion in military equipment, record high spending bills, energy at an all-time low in the sense of how we utilize it, re-entered the Paris Agreement, open borders, breaking record number of illegals crossing the border, record high inflation, record high gas, depleted petroleum reserves, $200 billion to Ukraine, classified documents, cocaine in the White House, normaling pedophilia, $6 billion to Iran, most vaccinations ever taken, DOJ weaponization. I'll add one more: glorification of the trans community and castration of kids and pornography. It's sick what this administration has condoned and marketed as to their base. It's wild. And to try and justify it, I don't believe you can do so if you're an educated person on the issues. If you're somebody who's just not aware of the day-to-day issues in legislation, I guess maybe due to foolishness, you could be and say, oh, fuck it. You're just so Trump deranged that you bend all sense of morality to go the other way. There are people like that out there. All right, let me get in our guest. I don't want to keep him waiting. We got the father of all Todds, who is back. Guess who's back? Back again. All right, Todd. The timeline is pretty shocking when you lay it out like that, no?
I mean, you hit it the nail on the head. Purpose creates design. You cannot tell me that a guy who has decades of doing nothing all of a sudden just miraculously becomes the worst failure ever or the best success story. I have to believe that this is a plan on purpose. You forgot one thing. He made a slogan go viral. Let's go, Brandon. That should be on chanted
Yeah.
across the world at NASCAR events and anywhere you could think of. It's a good accomplishment, you know.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. So I want to play this quick clip here. Biden bumbling today, mumbling about how he was the vice president during the pandemic. Wait.
And when I was vice president, things were kind of bad during the pandemic. And what happened was Barack said to me, go to Detroit and help fix it. Well, poor mayor, he spent more time with me than he ever thought he was going to have to. God love you.
I don't know. Maybe he means recession, but the point is, like, I get what he's trying to say, but he said pandemic. And he's the president of the United States. It's the most important job in the country. So get it right.
And the fact that this is who they're putting up to run against Trump, they don't have to. Someone could run opposed against the president. It's never happened, but it's possible. I mean, unless you want to what has already happened to continue to happen, then why would you put this guy in place? He's not gaining any votes for you. He's only destroying the world. I mean, it doesn't make sense. This guy can't even get through a speech. He doesn't know where he's at. I mean, come on.
It doesn't. And to that point, here's a staffer that has recently quit the Biden administration. Biden staffer Lily Greenberg Call, special assistant to the chief of staff in the Interior Department, is quitting the president's administration. Call insisted that she could, quote, no longer in good conscience continue to represent the administration. The people on the walls inside, those people who are flies on the wall, they're like, I can't stand for this anymore. It's immoral. And they're out.
You know what I wonder is what kind of NDAs did they have to sign? What kind of non-disclosure agreements do they have to sign not to say?
After Dan Bongino wrote that book and all that stuff in 2012, I think he left the Secret Service. They make the Secret Service sign NDAs. Surprisingly, I don't believe they had to before that.
It must be. How could you go to work every day knowing that's who you represent, who you're thinking is doing a great job, when they're systematically destroying America, policy by policy, decision by decision, standing behind the wrong people at the wrong time for the wrong beliefs, and standing up for the wrong people at the wrong times, continually over and over and over again. And believe, like you said, purpose creates design. You can't deny it. You can't argue it. This is on purpose. Everything that's happening in America as we speak today is a plan. It's on purpose. It's premeditated, and it's going effectively.
It's 100% right. And it's sad that you see leadership appearing to accomplish their goals, but their goals align with ruining the country. Like, how did we get to a point where this is our leadership?
More than two genders now. Like, how do we live in a country where our president can't even speak, doesn't know who he is, what year he's in, or where he's at? And then we have people running around saying you could be more than just a boy or a girl. If you're a boy, now you're a girl, and everyone has the same rights. So we have men playing women's sports and getting medals and trophies and breaking records. I mean, it's literally a clown show out here. It's like, I don't even know what to say anymore.
That's okay. It's a clown show, period. End of the sentence. That's it. It's just a clown show.
And it's up closer to fascism and communism and all those is that they want to say. It's just one step for each time.
It's fucking crazy, man. Look, Todd, I appreciate you coming on. As always, you're an awesome guest to have on the show. I know people really like your takes and seeing your face as well, Todd.
Well, I just want to say, like we always say, just keep your mind open and tune into Chris's world, because you might hear something that you didn't know to think about before. So we're all about making yourself ask questions you didn't know existed. So rock on, Chris's world to the end, baby.
Love it, man. Fight the power. Thank you, Todd. We'll catch you next time, brother. Todd's a great dude, personal friend of mine. He's also on X as well. But I love having Todd on just to give his takes and opinions. Think it's real valuable. Provides a lot of value. But all right, awesome show. We covered some of the weekend topics, not all. Of course, it was a wild weekend. Couldn't hit all of them. But you guys got to tune in tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we're talking about the two leaders that were killed, obviously in Iran, and what was the other one? Slovakia, I believe it was, who shot a couple times. Last week we did talk about it, but kind of makes you wonder what's going on. Is something going on? So tomorrow night, simulcast with Boiling Point Live, the Reverend, and we're going to get all the juicy topics. We're going to talk about that all. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you were new to the show and this was your first time watching, really appreciate it. And if you like what you heard, share it with a friend. I want to make sure that I reach as many like-minded patriots as possible. It's what it's all about, sharing information and getting to know one another. Live with Chris's World airs here on X and Rumble Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Very excited about tomorrow night's show. And hope you have a blessed evening and a blessed day tomorrow. See you.